What's up, everybody? It's the Talking Panda.
Welcome to another day, another video. I am back with another book recommendation slash review video. Let's get into it. The star of today's video is this book right here, Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Let's get on with the video. Let's talk about why you should be reading it, what are the things that you could expect from reading this book, and of course, the author of the book itself. Let's begin. All right, so before I delve into the book and the author itself, I want to tell you how I got introduced to this book. Now, for the past couple of weeks, I've been getting this book nonstop in my YouTube shorts. Almost each and every book talk video on YouTube had this one in their recommendations. Like, I cannot tell you how many times I've seen this book come up on my For You page for YouTube shorts, and I was really intrigued by that. I mean, sure, it couldn't have been marketing because this book has been around since 2017 when it was first published. Now let's talk about the author of this book, Taylor Jenkins. Taylor Jenkins is actually a New York Times best-selling author. She has written multiple books prior to this one, namely Carrie Soto is Back, Daisy Jones and the Six, and Malibu Rising, and 4 other novels. Suffice to say, she has an actual collection of the books that you could dive into. All right, now let's talk about the star itself, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This book is a historical fiction novel that revolves around the story of this old Hollywood veteran star, Evelyn Hugo. This book is actually loosely inspired by the real lives of actresses like Elizabeth Taylor, who got married 8 times to 7 different men, and Ava Gardner, who shared her life stories with a journalist and then later was published in a book named Ava Gardner, The Secret Conversation. Now, nothing could prepare you from what you can expect from reading this book. Honestly, I entered this one with some presumptions and prejudice, if you will, and let me tell you this, it is not what you would expect. The cover of this, the title of this might give away some vibe from it, but that is surely not it. Now, through Evelyn Hugo, that is the main character of this book, the author unspools a tale of ruthless ambition, unexpected friendships, and even a forbidden love. Once you begin reading this, it is going to become extremely difficult for you to believe that this is just a fictional novel of a fictional character. The references about the movies, the characters will actually entice you and will delude you to believe that Evelyn Hugo does actually exist along with the other characters of the book. Now, I have to give the credit where it's due, and the way it's written is so marvelous that it makes you believe, it gives you an illusion that you're reading an actual autobiography of a legendary actress. The author, Taylor Jenkins, has been successful in incorporating drama, love, loyalty, disloyalty, and even the LGBTQ plus recognition and their representation. The best part about this book is the fact that the characters are so complexly written that it almost will make you believe that these are real people that exist in real world. And of course, why not? Because the inspiration that the authors get is from everyday life, everyday people that they meet or they might have heard of or they might have seen, and they try to incorporate that along with their imagination and create beautiful, magnificent, and dramatic characters. Now, what actually makes a novel a great novel or a marvelous one is actually the power of representation that the author gives the characters. And this book definitely succeeds to give a peek in the time of 1980s or 1990s when people were actually coming forth and powerfully expressing their sexuality, they were voicing their opinions, and they were becoming more comfortable in public to who they were and what they wanted. There was an actual shift that was happening in the modern society back then. And then to really give us a glimpse of what was happening back then, you know, with the LGBTQ plus community, the way it was forming and the people, how they were fighting, it actually referenced Ronald Reagan's quote, which said that gay rights are on civil rights. Now, this line itself is enough to explain to you the gravity of the situation and the severity of the situation in which they were fighting. They were fighting for their lives. They were fighting for the coming generations so that they could become comfortable in who they were. And they were not only doing it for themselves, they were selfless. They were actually forming a revolution. And actually the fear surrounding this, to actually come in terms with who you really are, not just with yourself, but with the people that you love, the people around you, anyone. But there's this prominent feature of yours that you cannot suppress anymore. and you shouldn't be forced to do that either. Now, another great thing that really stood out for me from this book is the fact that although Evelyn had married 7 different men and each one of them had been given a different stage, their story had been told, and the influence that they'd had on Evelyn is very prominent, but none of them were her first true love. Now, I leave it up to you to find out who was indeed Evelyn Hugo's true love. Now, since this book talks about a Hollywood actress and the story revolves around a very famous and renowned actress in the 1950s to 1990s, it really shows clippings of newspaper articles, gossip columns about Evelyn that really makes this one feel like it was written for an actual person. So you have to keep reminding yourself that this is not a true story. This is not about a true person. Even, I'm going to tell you that you will have this desire in yourself to Google Evelyn Hugo at least once while you're reading this book. This is how strongly the character has been portrayed and how real this book feels like. Now, as I told you, I've been getting the recommendation for this book on my YouTube shorts for on and on, through and through, and I was really confused as to why this book keeps coming onto my For You page. Like, there has to be something about it, right? So out of curiosity, I did order it, and now that I have read it, I came to the realization, like, a plausible reason as to why it could have been famous. And in my opinion, I think the reason is that it's beautifully written, and the fact that it gives us a little window and a sneak peek into what the old Hollywood looked like, and has a unique premise because it goes through the past and present with different narrators. Now, the character Evelyn Hugo is flawed, courageous, determined, and complicated. And these flaws and complexities really make her human. And while the story is full of drama and twists and glamour, it's a story of true love, society's moral standards, and of being a bold woman in a predominantly male world. Now we have come towards the part of the video where I read you some of the reviews that have been written about this book, and I'm really excited about these. Let's begin. The Globe and the Mail says, a cinematic tale with hard-scrabble roots, staggering highs and sickening lows. The novel reads like a celebrity tell-all, and this makes it delicious. But it's also got heft because Hugo's story is one of the overcoming adversities, racism, and sexism to get to the top. She fails, falls, triumphs, and learns difficult lessons about the things that really matter. With this riveting novel, Wright has created an exceptional character with the wherewithal to take on the patriarchy. Redbook has to say, Taylor Jenkins is the queen of queens when it comes to beach reads, and this breathtaking treat proves once again the throne is hers alone. The last one is from Brit & Co, and it goes as, this sweeping tale is about an aging Hollywood starlet and the rookie magazine reporter she hires to pen her breathtaking and scandalous life story. Trust us, you'll be swooning over the twists for months. Now, I just finished reading this book, as I told you, and it really was an interesting read. I'm not going to say that it is the best one that I've encountered. For the best one, go check out one of my previous videos. You would know what I'm talking about. But this was really a different route in the novels that I've read recently. I say do read this one before its screen adaptation comes out, because from the fact it might be around the corner, who knows? The link will be, of course, in the description, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!